Hello, and welcome back to AstroCodex's channel. A few months ago, I released a video explaining why the Hidebehind cape is one of the most irreplaceable endgame items in DragonFable. Well, the new Crown of Damocles cape from the newly released Into the Fearscape quest is basically a block parry dodge version of the Hidebehind. So, in this short video, let's answer the question: is the Crown of Damocles any good? Let's start by looking at its stats. One thing to notice is that the minus 20 crit, minus 40 all resist, and complete lack of main stats mean that it completely crushes both your offensive potential and your ability to face tank incoming damage. Sure, it also has 20 bonus, which is nice, but you won't be using it as your default cape. The most noteworthy thing about the cape, though, is its 40 block parry dodge defense, or BPD. This makes it by far the best cape for stacking BPD. Unfortunately for the Crown of Damocles, stacking BPD is far more niche than stacking MPM. In DragonFable, if you block, parry, or dodge a hit, you still take 10% of the damage the hit would have done, though the hit will not inflict any effects of hit check, which includes most debuffs and DOTs. However, if you block, parry, or dodge a critical hit, it will do the same amount of damage as a normal non-critical hit instead, but will still inflict debuffs and DOTs. So while stacking a lot of MPM with items like the Hidebehind, and using a blind or small MPM shield lets you completely avoid all incoming damage and debuffs, stacking a BPD shield or blind with BPD items does not. This also means that the minus 40 all resist on the Crown of Damocles really does matter, as you'll still take more damage from incoming glancing hits. That being said, it's still going to be useful for hitting BPD thresholds with smaller BPD shields, like Pirate's Backstab, Ninja's Blurred Vision, or even Baby Chimera's Turn 1 Shield. The other noteworthy fact about the cape is that it has minus 40 all resist and only plus 20 health resist, though technically this is increased to plus 20.75 health resist thanks to the minus whiz. In DragonFable, all resist counts toward health resist, and having more health resist decreases the amount you heal. So the crowd's minus 40 all and plus 20 or plus 21 health resist actually increases the amount you heal by 19 or 20%. This is equal or slightly worse than the Hidebehind, the current best in slot healing cape. However, the Crown of Damocles does not have the Hidebehind's minus 15 endurance, which means that you'll have 75 more health when having equipped than with the Hidebehind. This means that for heals that are based on your max HP, which is basically every heal in the game except for potions and Twilly's staff, equipping the Crown of Damocles actually makes you heal more than with the Hidebehind. In other words, the Crown of Damocles is, generally speaking, the new best in slot cape for healing. So, while I doubt that the Crown of Damocles will be nearly as useful to most players as the Hidebehind, I still think it has its niche, both for BPD Stack and for when you really want to juice your healing by that final tiny bit. If you're interested in either of those use cases, I definitely recommend farming for it. And as always, thanks for watching and good luck.